Hello, welcome with me for another Sunday telling you how my project of rebuilding myself is going on. Um, I always like to do the videos on Sunday because I think that is the best way for me to reflect on how the week was going, even though I think that I'm going to start doing them maybe a little bit earlier on the week because it will allow me to film it before and then I don't think that I will be editing. As I mentioned, the idea is to have raw videos. I think that is the best way to know how someone thinks and also expresses himself. So that's what I'm going to attain, or I'm trying to attain with these videos. One of the thoughts I had when I started them was really to tell you the process, because something I lack or I didn't find when I needed to reconnect or go through this process over and over is find videos from someone that is not yet where he wants to be. And a lot of videos are from people that are exactly where they want to be. And I think that it's super nice because you are able to see their way of going through their actual step and keep moving forward. But I think that going from 1 to 10, it's not easier, but at least kind of different from going to 0 to 1. And for me, these videos are videos that I'm going to see in the future, and that's the idea of it. And this is week 3, and I think that this week I got some exciting news. Remember that we had our red notebook, and I think that I mixed this week was a little bit less lonely than the ones before, because at the end I had the possibility to talk with people around me about the process and what I'm doing right now, instead of only going through myself with this notebook, a pen on the couch, and thinking only, as Tommy Shelby will say, talking about myself to myself. And I think that I had nice reasonings and nice thoughts to share. So let's start one raw video at a time, as they say. So this week I went through, I will say, 2 main things. First, I came to the realization to say that sometimes we are searching for too many things and the list is super long. This is not exactly the same as a to-do list, because sometimes when we say before I die I want to do these things, but I think that it is related to that. And what I've realized is when there are too many things you want to do, you start to getting stressed, because some of those things will take you much more time than the one you thought. And I would love to know if when you start doing your to-do list and you think about the process to go to each step, if everything is possible in one lifetime. And that's the reason why I think that sometimes we feel super surpassed about our life, because that to-do list has too many things. So one of the exercises I did was to try to think, if I only needed to choose in this lifetime 1 or 2 things, what those 2 things will be. It's true that I'm kind of guilty on this one, but I think that I wouldn't say that I'm ambitious, but I think that I'm trying to check for 3. But you will see that the reality of the process is that for now I only got 2. And I don't know if it's good to stop there or keep following and find a 3rd, or maybe the 3rd will come through time and it's my choice to leave that chair empty and then decide if it's worth it or not. But to do so, I defined what my concept of ideal life is, and it's true that I did it by listing all the things that I would like to have. I won't be that to-do list, but the life I want to have, for me, the ideal one. And I don't know if I said it in my last video, but more or less the content of this list are what are the things that are centered on myself, meaning the me, what I need to have, what are the things that are traumas from my childhood, what are materialistic things, and also, and the most important one, to list the three more important things. I listed 13, which are called the 13 principles of what my concept of ideal life is. And from there, I tried doing an exercise, which I called directive lines, to say it like this, meaning exactly what you are targeting. And what I thought during this process was to put things that need to go through a specific checkbox. And I think that that's what this video is going to be about. The specific checkbox I decided was called idea. Okay, it's true that I would like to do the game and add an L because it will be ideal, but I didn't find the L, so I'm going to keep on idea one. Okay, things on these two principles for your life, things should be infinite. And this, I'm copying it from Simon Sinek's theory of your why, which I think is really related to what this exercise is all about. Calling it differently because it's true that at least when I read at the time Simon Sinek, I thought the why to be an objective, and I think that this has something to do also with who you want to be on the inside. And I think that it should be a mix. I think that all theories can work together. So this at least is the exercise I'm doing for myself. So first idea, things should be infinite, meaning you shouldn't be able to reach 100%. If you are putting, for example, I want the love from my wife or my family, to reach the love from them, I think that this is something that you won't reach 100% because there will always be something more to give you, and I think that's something important. Two, meaning daily. You should be able to do them every day. That's something really important because it goes directly with what I was mentioning at the start of the video, meaning some of the things we put in our list are too complicated to get. You should have things that are daily. If one of the things you are putting, as I mentioned, is the love of your family and wife, etc., you should be able to do that every day. If so, and you cannot reach it, you cannot reach 100% of it, then I think that is a good ideal principle you must live forward to. The third thing is E, which is, in this case, I wrote, only by doing one, your life should be okay. I think that that's something also important, because sometimes we think about, if I said 3 things, I must do 3 things for me to be totally happy. And that's one of the questions I'm asking to myself at the start of the video. Should I put 3 things or should I keep it at 2? The idea will be, if I only am capable of doing one of those 2, my life should be complete anyway. So that's also something important because it means that you need to select them really, really precisely, because if you put 2 or 3 and you're only capable of doing 1, you should be happy anyway. If not happy, feel comfortable with yourself. And here I talk about the amplitude of the principle or the idea, which is it must contain a lot of ramifications. With this, I mean the love of your family and wife is a really broad subject, meaning there's a lot of different ways that you can attain it or that you can obtain it. And I think that that's also important because it goes with the principle of being able to doing it every day. If it's complicated to get or it only means one thing, then for you it's going to be complicated to get it every day, or at least by trying to do so, sometimes you will fail, and that's not the idea. You should be able to get these little capsules of realization each day if you want to, and that's the important thing, because If someday you feel lost and you have this specific capsule that you can use, that's the idea of why we are doing this. So for me, one of the exercises I did to choose which ones are going to be was write down everything I needed or I wanted in this concept of ideal life. Then I ranked them and I found two main ones, which you will understand why I'm so keen on respecting those steps being infinite, being something with that you can do daily, having something of exclusion, meaning if I'm only capable of do one of those, I will keep being happy. And then the fact that you have a lot of amplitude to get to that specific thing. For example, my first principle is to build a family. Which is the thing that is funny about it is when I started deciding what that meant for me, to build a good family is something that I think comes from what I didn't totally get in my life, and something I want to make sure that I create this environment and I curate and I take care of the members I consider my family during this lifetime. What I was saying about if I only was able to have one, if I only was capable to live this life, creating a family, a great family, and that's the concept of great, which is super large. It has a lot of ramification. It is infinite because you can keep always pushing this. I will feel that my life has been correctly oriented, and that's one of the concepts I want to put in my two main objectives in this life. And it made me, I wouldn't say humble by thinking about this, but in Spanish we have an expression which is when you are close to the ground, meaning that you are realistic. And I think that sometimes we put ourselves in all the other materialistic things that are on my list. As I was mentioning the other day, a lot of houses, cars, recognition, success, etc. And I think that if I was able to correct the wrongs that my family made in the past, or that I as a child didn't get younger, I will be happy. And that's something I need to accept and to really write with ink on the inside for me to value and give value to those specific moments in my life where I get this fact of building a great family. And everything considered is friends around me, which are like brothers, my sister, my mother, my wife, their and her family is also a family for me. So taking care and spending time with them, as I did today, another Sunday eating with them, that's something that needs, or at least I should value more, because it's getting me closer to that specific objective. And I'm happy because of it, a little bit happier. And the second one, which is a larger one, I think that a lot of people have this one in their list, but I think that I want to find the way of getting mine, because it's totally personal, and it's being able to help as maximum of people I want to help. And I remember adding this one and being something important, because I think that it's not about helping everyone, at least not for me. I think that I need to be selective on the people I want to help, and you cannot like everyone, or at least not everyone is going to like me. So by this specific principle and same principle, I want to choose the people I want to help and be capable of helping them. This could be with little gestures. I remember that the day I was thinking about this principle, I wanted to test it, and I went to the supermarket and I was talking with the girl that is preparing the meat, the raw meat I eat, and I remember having a conversation with her about life and the choices we should have, etc. And I remember only spending time talking with her because it was lunchtime and she had no customers at that time, and giving her, I wouldn't say advices, but things that I'm doing on my day-to-day basis, and that I think that might help her. And I remember her recognition and being thankful. That is part of what I'm just mentioning. That still helps. I would love to, as you see in the films, and maybe not only in the films, but finding someone or meeting someone that you think that has a lot of value and helping them build, whether it's their business, their idea, get a job for their family. Only talking with them, maybe. Those are things that are giving me plenty of hope about what good people in the world can do. And I think that I must incarnate this specific feeling myself by exercising this will of helping others, the ones I want, in the way I want, and as much as I can. And those are the two ones I did get. And this next week is going to be kind of complicated because the exercise I'm going to have to feel is the reason why I had this conversation with a friend that became father some months ago. And I think that it was a reflection for me because we were talking about one main idea, which is in order to decide what to do in your life, I mean professionally, as a hobby, the things that are going to make you eat and allow you to eat, to earn money in this capitalistic world, we need it. And we were talking about the fact of, should I follow something I'm good at, or should I follow something I like doing? This question has no wrongs or right answers. It's only two different ways to think about it, and maybe there's a third one that I'm not thinking about it now. But am I good at, he was saying, am I good at expressing myself, and therefore should I choose something related with expressing myself because that's the area where I excel, I can be the best, and therefore that's the area I want to specialize in because I will be working on something I can be the best at and therefore earn more money because of the fact that I'm the best. That was one of the theories. And mine truly was follow more what I like, because I think that for me it's more about, at the start it was about recognition, because I think that the fact that someone tells you that you are the best is the kind of recognition of success that everybody would love to have. But I prefer to switch it to the things I like, because at the end the person that has to live with itself is me. I mean, I need to be the one living with myself, so I should be doing things that when I sit at night, I say, I liked doing this today. And that's the thing that should be important. And I really think that by following what you like doing, there will be a moment when you become good at it. It's complicated for me to think, except if you are talking about physically. If I want to climb mountains such as the Everest because I like doing that, maybe my body is not conditioned to excel at this specific task. But if you are not talking about physically and you're talking about mentally, I think that when you target something and you put it as a goal, there will be a moment where you are going to attain it. It's like when people say, are you born an entrepreneur or you become an entrepreneur? I think that there's no such things about born entrepreneur or becoming one. I think that is about your personality, are you risk averse, are you a risk taker, and really are you willing to create an environment and a situation for yourself for that scenario to happen? And this is exactly what I'm mentioning right now. If you are good at something, of course you are going to be the best, but for me, what is important is to like more what I'm doing, because even though it takes me 2 or 3 or 4 years, what I need to find and write in this notebook, which is what do I want to be doing in the next 10, 20 years of my life in terms of a profession, something that I don't have. My mother is a teacher and she loves teaching. That has always been her way of being present in this world and giving back what she had. She loves that. I have my wife to be, she's a nurse. She loves helping people in this sanitary and healthy way. So those are professions that are totally related with vocation. I don't know if it's the right way to say it, but something that you will love to dedicate yourself to this. I always had, and a lot of people maybe will have the same, but a generalistic background, which is economics. And the path I'm willing to choose is entrepreneurship, because I think that that's what I like. Can I be the best at it? Who knows? The best is too large as an expression, but can I excel at a specific moment because I will be loving so much what I'm doing that there will be a moment where I'm kind of good at it? I think so. And that's the reason why I'm willing to follow this path. So letting you with this same idea about what should be the path we follow. Am I good at sports and therefore I should dedicate myself to sports? Or I love sports and maybe I'm not the best fitted, but I'm going to dedicate myself to sport because that's what I love doing. What is the best way to choose, or at least what is yours? I think you know what is mine. Next week I think that I will have to do some advancements concerning what my job vocations and profession in the future is going to be. So I will leave myself to it, have 7 more days, and I will tell you a little bit more next Sunday. So see you, and thanks for hearing me another week.